Howdy everyone, Pete Daddy here. Today I wanted to talk about the top 5 ways to start FIFA 21. It is very important to get off to a good start in a new FIFA. You want to stay in front of or as close to the power curve as possible. If it's gotten to that stage of the game where everyone has an Mbappe and a Neymar and you're still playing with Alex Teixeira on your starting team, you're just not going to have as much fun. You're going to feel defeated. But if you follow these tips, you can stay right up there with everybody without spending a penny. Now, I know a lot of people will put a lot of money into the game. They're going to try to have these super mega ultimate teams, but we can stay right up there with them. No problem. Just have to grind the game a little bit. Before we get started, though, please make sure to subscribe down below and check the description. I have a link to my Discord server. We'll be talking a lot about FIFA 21, getting everything going. We're getting more and more of the database revealed every day. So we'll be making starter teams, trying to share tips and tricks on how to get you off to the best start. But anyway, let's go, boys. Number one. This is what I've done for the last several years, and that is start off in squad battles. And I guess one thing we should kind of mention first, if you're an EA Access member, you get 8 to 10 hours. I'm not sure what they're going to do this year. I think for Madden, they did 10 hours, but you will get to play 5 days early for 8 to 10 hours of game time. But what you need to remember, though, is we will also have the web app and the companion app, and I'll get to that in a little bit. So when you're using your 8 to 10 hours, you only want to be doing things that you can do in the game, like playing the game. But with that being said, what I like to start off with is squad battles. It's a great way to, number one, learn the game, and number two, get some easy rewards. And what I shoot for in the first week is to get Elite 1. I have not ever really messed with top 100 in squad battles. And you can see in the top right up there, my points this week is 0. Later on in the year, I play no squad battles. I just don't think it's as worthwhile later in the year. But at the beginning, it's a great way to grind the game, get some nice, easy rewards, learn the game. And from Elite 1, you can get 2 rare mega packs and 30,000 coins. The beauty of Elite 1 is that you can actually play some games on beginner difficulty. You know, if you just want to play around, mess around, just get a free win. Sometimes what I do is I'll score 5 goals, set my controller down, go about my day. So then my game is doing stuff because the AI on beginner difficulty will not attack you. They'll just sit there. So it's really nice to just score 5 goals early, set your controller down, move on, do whatever you need to do. You know, you'll have to advance it at halftime, but you can just let it ride. So that is nice. You can't do every game like that. You're going to have to play some on a harder difficulty, which I do also recommend because you want to learn the mechanics of the game, learn how to pass around, learn all those key things. Now, you're not going to learn everything playing the AI, but you're going to learn the core mechanics of the game, which is really important. But even if you get to something like Gold 1, you're talking a premium gold players pack, a prime X players pack, a jumbo premium gold pack, and even 11,000 coins is huge. That's another thing to keep in mind. Everybody's going to be starting at 0 coins at the beginning of the game. So 1,000 coins, 2,000 coins, all of that stuff is huge at the beginning of the game. So squad battles is by far my number one recommendation. Play it to whatever ability you can get to. You know, even if you can get the gold 3, that's still 10,000 coins. And I'm pretty sure if it stays the same way where you play 40 matches, and you know, you can also, for your featured matches, if you play on beginner, you can win 1-0 on beginner and get 1,500 points. You know, so even playing ultimate on this one only gets you 500 additional points. So, and I know they're changing difficulties, doing all of that stuff for FIFA 21. I'm not even 100% certain that it's going to be 40 matches. I imagine it'll be something like that, but basically you can do a lot of stuff even on beginner, so there's no excuse not to do it. Like I said, play it, score your goals, set your controller down, go about your day. Then you're making some coins from the game. You're going to make 400 or 500 coins, and you're not even playing. So it's a great way to do some stuff like that to get some easy rewards. So squad battles is number one. Number 2 is the bronze pack method. Now, it works a little bit differently early in the game. Now, the bronze pack method is amazing because it works pretty much throughout the game. Right now, it maybe wouldn't work as much when people just aren't playing and, you know, people aren't completing league-wide SBCs. But at the beginning of the game, you're not going to have as many people buying league-wide SBC cards, but people are going to be buying things from the bronze pack still. So I, in the past, have typically bought premium bronze packs, and it's probably smarter just to buy the bronze pack because you're pretty much more guaranteed to get your money back. But the reason I buy the premium bronze pack in FIFA 20 and before is for this increased chance at squad fitnesses. FIFA 21 though, there's no squad fitnesses, so I'm not sure exactly how that will work out. But just as an example, let's just buy a bronze pack, and you'll see kind of the array of items that we get. So the beauty, I didn't even finish my thought from earlier, but later in the year, you're looking for a Bundesliga card, you're looking for a Premier League card, even this Liga MX card right here. Anyone that has a league-wide SBC is going to have some value. However, at the beginning of the game, the players may have a little less value, but these consumables can actually sell for something. Some of these player healings, I think they got rid of training cards as well. I'm pretty sure they did. But even some of these kits, like for instance, I'm known now for the Burger King kit. And I've got my Burger King man right here. If you want to be a king in FIFA, follow these tips. But, the Burger King kit is a bronze kit. It's going to go for some coins at the beginning of the game. So, at this stage of the game, middle to late stage of the game, kits aren't going to sell. Badges aren't going to sell. Balls aren't going to sell, but at the very beginning of the game, some of these extra things will sell. However, some of these players, like let's just see this Liga MX player, what's he going for? Maybe I could sell him for 1,400, but at the beginning of FIFA, maybe he's going for 400 to 600. So you're not going to have that league-wide SBC boost to your bronze players, but you're also still going to be able to sell. And like I said, if you made 600 coins on a pack and you just keep doing them and doing them and doing them, and the beauty of the bronze pack method, you don't have to be logged into the game. Use the companion app, use the web app, just open up bronze packs, as many as you can. But the key to bronze packs, this is very, very important. You have to relist, relist, relist. If you're out and about, if you're somewhere, whenever you get a break, log into your companion app, just hit relist. Even if you don't have time to buy more bronze packs, relist, 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 because you're not going to sell immediately, but they will sell. You just got to relist, relist, relist. That's the key to bronze packs. I'm just going to send all this stuff. Actually, let's go ahead. Let's sell this Liga MX player. I'll put him out there for 1,000 coins. If I got that, beautiful. So that pays for our bronze pack easily right there. Just submit the rest of it. Not even going to mess with it. So bronze pack method, very, very important. A great way to make some coins. Like I said, don't forget, early in the game, everything is cheaper for those first couple days because people just don't have the coins. People always seem to focus on the demand side of the market, but you have to remember that money supply is also key to market. So if there's very little money supply, then the price, even though everybody's going to want Neymar, the money supply is not there. So it's going to have the price of Neymar down early till that money supply gets back up there. So there's two parts of demand curves, supply and demand. So you've got to remember that. Money supply also plays a key to that. So bronze pack method number 2. The number 3 thing I would recommend, be very careful on SBCs. I am someone who loves SBCs. However, one thing I've gotten a lot better about is not completing as many player SBCs. So, for example, in the very early stages of the game, we'll probably have like a Premier League Player of the Month. Really evaluate if that card is worth it to you. I know we've had like a Lucas Player of the Month before that had like an early Lucas Player of the Month card from Tottenham that had a lot of staying power. Someone like him may have been worth it, but I know last year we had a Teemu Pukki in the very first month, and a lot of people played with him, got some good use out of him. But once he's gone, or once he's in your team, all those cards you had are now gone, and you're stuck with this untradeable Teemu Pukki that's not going to last that long in the game. I will say, though, make sure to take advantage of like these advanced SBCs. You get some really nice packs back, and this is another great way when you're opening packs, when you're grinding the game, all this type of stuff, you're going to get a lot of these cards you need for free. You may have to buy a couple of them. You may have to do a few things like that. But you get some really nice packs from these advanced SBCs. So my recommendation on SBCs, do SBCs for packs. Be very, very cautious on SBCs for players. Like, let me just look through some of these. Let me go through ones I've completed. And, these are just going to even be ones that are out there for the entire game. Like, I completed Player Moments Alex Sandro. He played a ton of games for me. I don't really regret that one. Militao similar, Allen similar. This Lucas Moore is fine, but like this Cyprian here was pretty expensive. Did not enjoy him, but you can see right here, just these five, tons of resources I invested into these players. Mertens, Luka Modric, just Luka Jovic was not very good, so those are resources wasted. Now, Ribery is a perfect example of someone that had staying power. I don't regret him at all. He's still in my main starting team whenever I do play FIFA. So, like I said, just really evaluated how much are you going to use these players, because they're ultimately going to be behind the power curve always. So you've submitted rewards or submitted capital into a player that may not last long in your team. So just be very cautious. My main rule of thumb, if the SBC player is going to fit into my starting team, I think he's going to have some staying power, I will do them. But sometimes they have players release, like say I've got a Premier League team and they release a La Liga SBC for a player that looks really strong. There's no point in me doing them. I guess Cesc Fabregas last year was released. Looked like a pretty decent card, but he was in Ligue 1. Not easy to link, so I didn't do them. So he's just not worth doing. So just be very cautious. SBCs for packs when they're good values. SBCs for players. Try to stay away from them unless they're going to really fit your team. The number 4 thing I would really recommend, and I guess let me just talk about this a little bit, but I'll just say number 4, go ahead and say it, online drafts. It's a great way to play competitive, but one reason I play squad battles early is I want to build my starter team, at least my team that I feel I can be competitive with before I get into a competitive play. I don't want to go into a rivals match with, when you first go into the game or when you first get like your starter team, your very first things that you get, you're gonna get players like, let me just find someone here, someone like this Romero right here who's got 77 pace. This one's probably even better than some of the stuff you're going to get. So you're just not going to have good players. You're not going to have ones you can really compete and have fun with. So I want to build my team up a little bit. I want to build that starter team that I feel can be competitive before I go into rivals, before I go into this other stuff. Now, you don't want to miss any rivals rewards or anything, but you generally have a little bit of time where you just go full blast into squad battles, build your starter team, then you can start going into rivals and getting some of those rewards. But number 4 on my list is drafts. And then drafts is a great way to get pack rewards back. Plus, you can start learning how people are playing online competitively without risking some of your rival stuff or FUT champ stuff. It's a great way to learn. I will say that I feel like drafts is most useful if you can make it to at least the 3rd round. So if you're losing in the 1st round consistently, at least, later on in the game, there are even times that maybe you want to lose in the 1st round because you maybe will get a silver players pack and you get some of these league-wide SBC silvers that are 8 to 20,000 coins and sell immediately. So sometimes it is fine later on in the game, middle of the game, to get these silver players packs. But I'd say early on, you want to make it to at least the 3rd round of drafts. So if you can consistently do that, then that works out really well. If you can win drafts, you've got chances at rare players packs, at big coin rewards, mega packs, all sorts of nice packs. So drafts is a great way to build your team. Plus, you're getting some of that competitive fire. It's not just against the AI. You're learning how people are going to play the game. You're learning what things are going to go on. So drafts is number 4. Then number 5 is starting to work on some of the market stuff. I will say one of the things I really like to look at early on in the game is consumables, especially things like Shadow Chem Styles, Hunter Chem Styles. Now, it may work differently because last year, for any of you guys who are new or picked it up midway through FIFA 20, Shadows and Hunters used to be 5,000 coins max. EA changed it to where now they're 25,000 coins max, and that's because we just could not even buy. You had to go and snipe and snipe and snipe for shadows. Sometimes it could take 30 minutes just to try to buy a shadow. So in some ways I am glad, but what I'm trying to say is I don't know that this will work exactly the same, but there's going to be tons of consumables that work this way. But basically what I was getting at, shadows last year were going for 2,000 to 3,000 coins at the very beginning of the game. And again, that's because people are investing their coins into players. They're wanting to just go, build some of their team. But if you can get some of these consumables, if you could get a stockpile of shadows at 2,000 to 3,000 coins each, Then when that first weekend league comes, people are just going to spend whatever coins they have at 10 to 20,000 coins for shadows. So you can almost make more profit on consumables than you can on players. So I will say shadows are a great thing to look at. Let me just see what the cheapest shadow is at this point. I mean, last I looked, they were about 7 to 8,000 coins. So yeah, so they've come down a lot. But you know, and again, for anybody who's new, shadows even a couple months ago may have been 20,000 coins at times. It depends on when a player is released. That's the other thing. Last year in FIFA 20, there was a Gerard PK Scream card that was released, and shadows just went exploding. So, you know, when certain cards are released, that's going to be very important. Shadows are going to just skyrocket because everybody's going to complete that one card and they're going to want to put a shadow on it. Same thing when certain position modifiers are released. Like, let's say center forward to cam is a great one to get. You know, there's not even a center forward to cam on the market right now. Those are still capped at 5,000, but say you could add 10 of those for 2,000 coins, and then you can sell 10 of them for 5,000 coins. That's 30,000 coins of profit you've made easily. So that's another reason I kind of ease into some of this stuff. We're building our competitive team, but we're also growing our coins so we can buy the players that we want to buy. So consumables are a great thing. Center forward to cam, cam to center forward. People are still, you know, chemistry is still in the game, unfortunately, in my opinion, but when a new striker is released and someone needs to move them down to central midfielder for chemistry purposes, these center forward to cams, cam to CMs, you know, all of that type of stuff. Same thing when a midfielder is released, a CM's released. People are going to want to make them to a striker for certain chemistry situations. So these consumables go for a lot of money. So I'd say center forward to cam, cam to center forward, cam to CM, shadows, hunters, those type of chem styles are cheap at the beginning of the game, but they rise quickly. So you've got to move quick on those. As far as players go, let me show you this. Let's look at a couple things on the market. Just get this set up here. 1 second. Okay. So if we're looking at, say, the FUT database, and this is a great way to learn some things on the market, but let's just look up a player like Neymar last year. Let's look at Neymar's, just his regular gold card. We're going to go down. We're going to look at his market activity. But if we look at someone like Neymar, look at where he started at like the first day of the game. So he's around 688,000 coins on Xbox, 567,000 on PlayStation. I'm not sure if that's because I don't remember when there was a time when Xbox had early access and PlayStation doesn't. I don't really know or remember. I thought they fixed that, but it maybe is not. I don't know for sure, but you can see here, look, or just let's focus on the Xbox prices and be easier just to track. 704,000, 719, 648 even early on. And then you can see once we start getting into weekend league times, it's starting to rise up. So, you know, when we're getting into weekend league times, he's going to rise. So early on, he's going to be a little bit cheaper on those first couple days. So I would say if you do pack someone monstrous, then try to hold on to them until that very first weekend league. And that gets into one of my tips on the market. You want to time the market. Players are going to be at their most expensive on Thursdays after people get some of their rewards. They've got coins to spend. They're building their teams. So one smart thing to do is to sell your players or have your players ready to sell, or your players that you're holding for investments, sell them at that time. But wait to build your team until Friday evening or Saturday morning, because those players are going to come right back down because people are either playing their weekend league games or something like that. So if you can even time the market and buy on Monday when they're cheapest and then sell them on Thursday, you're going to just make easy coins like that. You can do some overnight trading with things like that. Just follow the market, learn something, you know, become an expert in a card. Like, for instance, let's look at one that maybe someone could become an expert in, like this Militao. I know when I restarted at Christmas, I made my second starter team. Militao was one of my center backs. I knew this Militao card left and right. I knew what was a good price on him, knew what was a bad price on him. I knew what he was selling for, how long he'd stay on the market. So you don't have to know everything about the market, but become an expert in something like Militao's. Because, you know, a card like that is going to stay relevant for a long time in FIFA, for, you know, a couple months. So let's just look at his. You can see here, you know, 14,000, 20,000, 19,000, so 18,000. So if you know that Militaos are selling for just say 20,000 coins, just use round numbers, you can just sit there and snipe Militaos for 17,000, 16,000. Just try to find some, or maybe there's a time of the day that you're on that Militaos are selling for less, but you know that later that day when more people are on, he's going to sell for 20,000. So, you know, there's easy things to do like that. You don't have to be an expert in everything on the market. No one's going to know everything about the market or every player. But if you're an expert in just certain usable players, and that makes a big difference. The other thing I would talk about is keep a close eye on cards that were meta in FIFA 20. People think they're going to be that same meta in FIFA 21. Musa Sissoko is probably a great example. Like if we look at his card, you know, he may or may not be meta in FIFA 21. It's hard to say. You know, you can see how much this just gold 81 card was going for. 30,000 coins, 30,000 up to 40,000 coins, even 50,000 on PlayStation. But then you've got to watch those drops, you know, so just be very cautious on the market. What I like to do on the market, I don't like long-term investments. I don't want to make sure, you know, once to watch, you know, that's another one. Once to watch are a great way to make coins. One thing you can do on once to watch is buy the cards before their game. Then if they're having a decent game, then you can usually sell them at the game for a huge value. So say someone like Timo Werner. If you have Timo Werner's one to watch, which is going to be expensive, so not the best example, but just say he scores 1 goal for Chelsea. That card, even before he becomes a team of the week, is going to go up because people are thinking maybe he'll get that team of the week. But even if he doesn't score that goal, you wait a few days and then you can still sell him because people are going to be like, oh, okay, there's another Chelsea match. So Timo Werner may get another team of the week. So ones to watch are a great way to make some live coins. It's fun. It's interactive because then you can track some real football matches and see how that's going to go. But market stuff works really well, but just be cautious. You know, you like I said here, you can see this right here perfectly. You could have bought this Sissoko on PlayStation for 51,000 on October 18th, and then on October 28th, it's worth 20,000 coins less, so that's gone. So those are my top 5 ways to start off FIFA 21 like a king, and that's the name of the game. But I will give you one bonus tip, and I may expand on some of these ideas in another video shortly, but I would say now is a great time. Start playing a few games with some gold players. It's always a shock to the system when we go from these team of the season, summer heat, team of the year, God squads, and then have to come back to reality playing with just regular gold players. So use some of this time in the last couple weeks of FIFA 20, make a decent gold team, and I've done this on my other account. We've been playing some weekend league with some themed teams that aren't as strong. We've won several games with them, and it's also a great way to learn how to beat people without, you know, just overpowering them or having better cards. So you learn a lot of the mechanics, learn how to pass around people, learn how to defend properly, all of that type of stuff without relying on just OP cards. So I think it's a great way if you're looking to improve at the game as well. It kind of puts a handicap on you to challenge yourself, to make you play better FIFA than just relying on OP cards. So I'd say that's a great way to do that. But anyways, boys, this is going to wrap it up. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, please leave them down below, but definitely subscribe, definitely join the Discord server, and one more, follow me on Twitter, but I'll see you guys soon. Bye.